174. You can see the jump. From 2018, you only had a handful of cases. And these are the cases that are reported to Zicta. This doesn't even include the ones that are reported to the police. So that's how serious we have to take it. So because of these statistics, the 2023 ones are not yet out, but from what I'm hearing, there are upwards of 8,000 cases last year. That is the essence of us doing this sensitization. For us to set aside a small budget to go around the country, because we've seen that this has affected so many people. So we're not just doing this in small venues. We're doing this in all the 10 provinces. So we do this every year. It's just that this year we've chosen to sensitize this group of people. Last year we were dealing with the women in the community around what we call online gender-based violence. I'll go into that later. The year before that, we were dealing with persons with disabilities, but this year we decided to get a more diverse group of people. Reason being the same cases that are going up. So in terms of the risks that I will discuss, I will start from the online part of it. So we will do the cyber space part, then we'll go into digital financial crime. So that's now the scammers on the phone, the mobile money scam. I'll touch a little bit also on the child online protection. And then I only have 45 minutes left. I digress. So when it comes to cybersecurity, when you look at the act, we have a lot of crime, but I'm going to touch on the ones that are more prevalent now, because financial everything will be here for 3 days. So I'll discuss the ones that we get as cases. We have a crime called cyber extortion. That's number one. And before I go into this, a show of hands, how many of us are on Facebook? What's a crime? Doing a show of hands? Almost everybody. WhatsApp? Almost everybody. Any other social media site? TikTok? So I'm in the right place. So we have what we call cyber extortion. Cyber extortion involves a blackmailer, someone using personal information against you. In the beginning, we used to, before I started doing this sensitization around the country, I never thought this applied to Zambia. 3 years ago, someone told me, no, Zambians are being extorted for sharing personal information. I was like, no, it's not possible. But from what we've seen at the video, you can see this is very prevalent. And with the permission of the DC, I would like to be as vain and as plain as possible.
Please go ahead. Go ahead.
So we have a very interesting situation happening in the country now. And when we did the grouping for cyber extortion in terms of age, we realized that the biggest age with the victims are from about 35 to 65 years. So that's why I always start with this. We have people who go on social media in search of relationships with people. So for instance, those of you who are on Facebook, I'm sure you've come across those on Messenger, those random Indians, Europeans who send messages, hi, how are you doing? Yes, so there are some people who engage in relationships with those people. So you start what they call online dating with that person. Now, you see, I will tell you 99.9% of the time, I like to leave the 0.1 just in case, but 99.9% of the time, those people you are chatting with are West African, young boys, usually 16, 17, 18. West Africans, now East Africans, and now we also have Zambian kids who are doing those things. So, I can go on Facebook today, those are not aware. I can get a download picture. I go on Facebook, create a page, put his picture, put his name, and you won't know that it's not him. Are we aware of that? That's the exact same principle that they use. They get pictures of attractive men and attractive women. European, Indian, different racial profiles. Because they know that as black people, that's our interest, right? But I think they wouldn't look at us like that. Young Zambian girls want to marry white men. Our Zambian men also are interested in white women. So they'll create those profiles and use those profiles now against you. Now, why you? For those of you who are in government, I'll tell you one thing. Those of you who are waiting in government and receiving a salary, by virtue of being an employee who receives a salary, you are already a target. Just by virtue of being an employee, already a target. Why? Because I know between 28 and 23, somewhere there you will have some money. Two, some of us post too much information about ourselves. Others have then posted that they come for a meeting with me. Am I lying? So you see, the way these social media platforms do it, I told you that the thieves who are on the streets are no longer there. They are on this street now. So they still have the money there. Now when you post your location, your information, you are making yourself a target. And a very, very good-looking target because you've given everything that they need. So when you enter this online, now I go back to relationships. When you enter this relationship, when they target you, by the time they are engaging in a conversation with you, they've seen what you post, so they know your character, so they'll know how to approach you. Cyber extortion has been termed as online gender-based violence because it's targeted towards a certain gender. And there is study profiles. I'll give an example of it that you have that you can understand. We had a 65-year-old lady in the office. That's why I said up to 65. A widow. She had lost her husband 2 years back. She had kids and grandkids, but she was the one supporting those kids and grandkids and retired. So, waiting for her pension. She's someone who was very vocal on social media. Mostly talking about herself. Always posting her husband's memorial, she posts his picture, posting her grandkids sometimes. And you know, as women now, when we're going through something, even just the Bible verse that we post, you know that things are not okay. So because they studied that, so she was targeted by this person who came and said, no, first of all, he came in her age. Oh yeah, no, I'm 65, my wife passed away 3 years ago, I want to relocate to Zambia, settle down, I'm just waiting for my pension. So, in her head, because of the way, it's manipulation. He had already seen her life from her social media, so he was able to speak to her in a way that she would understand and get closer to him. These conversations went on for months. During those months, at some point, he even sent her about $50. It's a lot of money for us here. $50 easy, but for them it's an investment. At that point, she was convinced that this person is real, this person is in love with me, we are in a relationship, and it's coming to that. So months down the line, now when they realize, okay, we've managed to convince this person, we've managed to convince him that this is happening, this is real. He started now bringing his attention, no, I want to come to Zambia. But before I come to Zambia, as in our culture, our white people, our system, we like to know what you look like, even when you are not dressed. So at that point now, you see, they have been talking for a long time. How she knows she has found someone to settle down. And sometimes you wonder, but I think it can't be me. I'm telling you, it can be you, without the proper information. If you look at the things that they say to these women and men, it's very convincing. Very convincing. The point is, when she came first, anyway, so now they had this video call. She exposed herself in the video call. And just after the video call ended, and then during the video call, he was still like telling her lies. So what they do, they do two things. Either they will change the way they look using artificial intelligence, using deepfake, or they will hire what we call online prostitutes. So now we have online prostitutes who can do that job for you. All you have to do is pay them. So you hire men, these online prostitutes who pretend to that woman to make her convince that for you they exist. So either do two of those things. After she was convinced, a few minutes after the video call, she now started receiving messages from now them, their Nigerian numbers. We had your pictures, they took screenshots of all of her, the whole video of her when she was exposed. We have these pictures, if you don't send this money via Western Union, will expose you. And what they do, because they knew her life, and she was a member of a very prominent church in Zambia. I said, we know your church, these books belong to your church. So if you don't pay, we'll post these pictures in these church books. What did she do? Instead of paying 5,000. This is not for her pension. 5,000, 10,000. They don't stop, by the way. When you pay, they keep coming back and coming back and coming back. Till they finish you. And even after they finish you, they're still asking. So she reached the point where she couldn't borrow anymore. Village banking, she had maxed out everything. That's when now she came to report. But even when she came to report, she was so convinced that that man was real that she thought she was hacked. She thought they hacked her, and that's how they got those images. Imagine I had to explain to her for over an hour, say, listen, there was never any white man who wanted to marry me. This thing was fake. So now that is cyber extortion. It's a crime in this country. The unfortunate part is that most of the time the criminals or the perpetrators of this are outside of the country. Different jurisdictions. Those who are on their jurisdictions will know how difficult it is for us as Zambians now start going, oh, we're looking for so and so. But there are ways in which we can help. As we are having a training here, with the team having a training with each other, and also we have a team that will be coming from Congo to train the law enforcement officers on what I'm telling you, on how to handle these things. Because we are not enforcers. Unfortunately, our mandate doesn't allow us to enforce, but we support law enforcement on the technical side. They can help. Please do not pay. If you ever find a certain such, I don't think you should find some situation because I've given you the information. But if you ever did by accident, do not pay. Report the matter. Our advisor at the end will have to report it. This things like crime, and we can assist. In the same vein, we have what we call revenge pornography. The act is under review, and I know that's something that they're trying to add into the act. So again, within we've had couples who are married, they're married and things go apart, they divorce. And because they divorce now the husband, because the wife is now going to put her thing, I want half. The husband starts blackmailing her with the pictures she used to say when they were married. That's